The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Luke and Reef Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Great cash, homie.
Starts now.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine, Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm your not so humble host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Tour Machine. And I have equity, more equity than the IOU Adrian Peterson's writing to Georgia Loca to be like, let's change you to 49.
Yeah, he said he was going to change it as soon as he had the opportunity.
Like, as soon as Rashard Cleat RIPs, like, he's taking 43 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although, numerology podcast, he did wear number 8 at Boise State. So, actually, who's 38 now? Ooh,
Trey Matthews, safety, Auburn, I think.
Nice.
I like Trey Matthews.
I think you might be right.
Initially, one of the hour one maker, or one, you only got one spot, was J-Ron or Trey Matthews. I guess that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. Join me, as always, Arif San at Arif San NFL. Hey.
Hey.
Actually, the original joke was going to be Marco then Arif finding out that he and Jay Glazer make the same amount. Who do you think costs the most at the Athletic?
The new NBA guy, Shams.
Oh, yeah.
Who is
Shams?
Shams?
Although Shams is interesting that, like, you don't really read Shams. You just read his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
I bet Rosenthal is costly. I'm trying to think of who else they have that really kind of pops. But
I mean, so
Michael Russo.
The baseball guy, John Heyman, back when CBS let him go, they were just like, hey, we'll just paraphrase your tweets, man.
Yeah.
We'll just cultivate
No,
your
John
tweets.
Heyman has an MLB network contract, and I think that's like fan rake sports. Yeah.
Also,
Wild.
it's dumb. Like
Because his writing isn't that good.
Yeah.
His tweets aren't well written.
Brett.
Well, I mean, he's the guy that was insisting that one racist picture was childlike, right?
Is that right?
I think that's the same guy, yeah.
John Heyman.
Which means his tweets are bad, not just not good.
Yeah.
Like Albert Breer at Fenway bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Checking out of that hot route. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. What's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Hey, man,
We talked for an
what's going
hour,
on?
just recently.
Yeah. How many times have you washed those shorts?
Ooh, not enough. Not enough.
Because listeners, if you don't know, so Luke got some like legit NFL Vikings team equipment gear giveaway. Bingo?
Yeah, a little giveaway at work. Yeah, a little wine contest. Who can sell the most wine? Yeah.
So-
It's like you legit could have wore that and just passed off as a PR person.
Yeah. You're not the only person.
Can you
who called
imagine?
me out.
Yeah. I'll go get Kirk.
I asked Sam one day driving in. I was like, "Hey, dude, we still a big no to wear any type of Viking gear, right?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And you know Sam, like, he's complete by the book,
journalist, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just don't do that."
No,
Like, wow, that's half joking. I
Does
wasn't
Sam
gonna do
wear?
it.
Does he wear a suit? I mean, what does he wear to practice?
Sometimes Sam rocks the suit. I
He
mean,
looks good. He's
he
kind of
looks
slim.
great,
He's
man.
slim. Yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Sometimes like outdoor practice in the summer, it's got to
cooking.
be just
Cooking.
cooking, man.
I mean, for football,
Gotta-
it's funny for each sport, but like for basketball, like Britt shows up in like shorts, like basketball shorts, and like for although most people are pretty casual, baseball's all golf shirts. Football, you're dressed, tie, suit, whole 9 yards.
Master and Sid Hartman, like that's the spectrum.
Master had right. Master had
It's very thin
good
spectrum.
look.
Yeah. Well, it's funny at training camp one day. Sam was there and like he looked like it was an advertisement for bonobos. The tight, stylish jeans, a very nice shirt and shoes. I'm wearing like flip flops and cut off shorts. I got like 2 cameras on me.
On him.
Yeah. No, I look like every camera guy.
Yes. That is another thing. Yeah.
No, like every camera guy looks like he should be playing like the middle position for rugby team.
There was someone
cargo shorts.
There was someone who had a shirt that looked like Coca-Cola, but it said "Constitution, get it while you still can." And I was like, why did you choose to wear that in a locker room?
What?
Yeah.
Well, I think you know why.
Well, I do know why, but like it was an interesting. I don't know. There's some interesting.
Because his last stroke just went viral. What's going on? Also, Tom's here. 2 short 3. What's going on? Hi. Zonecoverage.com. What's cooking there?
We are kind of, I should say, we've been doing Vikings all along, but a lot of Viking stuff. Although Brandon Warren has a big thing on the Twins and how the travel works. Jesus, we got a caller. I do before we go to the caller. I do please read. Sam every day has something good, something insightful about the Vikings. So check his stuff out.
Yep. Boom. Hey, caller, who we got?
Hey, it's Hoodie. What's up, guys?
Hey. What's going on?
So the real question is, who got paid more, a Reef by the Atlantic, or
are you doing politics now, Reef?
From the Vikings?
Yeah, I would love to be writing for the Atlantic. I'm guessing Aloka. I would
going on a limb there.
I would hope so.
I don't know. I find that hard to believe. But,
right.
Reef was paid in solid gold.
Well,
I was paid better than gold. They paid me in
Bitcoin. All, congratulations!
So nice.
Bitcoin. There. Also, was part of the stipulation when you signed on with them that after Sid got his, because he always got first dib, you were second in line for food in the press box during Vikings games. Is that true?
I will neither confirm nor deny rumors about my rider.
He gets his own nurses, though.
Gotcha. I hope for some food reviews from a Reef, though, after every home game about the quality of the food. I like to think that. I don't think he's going to go all Randy Moss on it, but I think that a Reef review of the food during the games would be something that's needed.
Yeah, I could do something like that.
Like Ross Tucker and his Princeton rear end goes through and rates all the media buffets. So a Reef should do it like that, except from like a umami perspective.
A Reef freaks out.
An haute cuisine.
A Reef freaks out on Twitter, and they send him to the Athletic Tennessee.
It's the Athletic Nashville, actually.
Excuse you.
Athletic Chattanooga. It's like, oh, another TO piece. Cool.
You can do that. You can do the AA team for the Twins.
So, Reef, are you be able to go to like different are you going to different cities as well, like Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, all over the place, or are you just basically doing the home games?
Just the home games for now. I imagine that, and this happens a lot. I imagine that during like playoff games, they'll like want to send more than a couple of people.
Is Graf traveling?
I think Graf is traveling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe you guys will rotate, like the away games.
Maybe
he'll just take out Graf.
From my understanding, probably not, or at least not yet. But we'll see.
I liked how Jay Glazer tried to take the shine off a Reef signing by saying he signed the same day too. What a jerk!
It was definitely
seriously, dude.
Motivated.
Glazer's changed, man. Seriously,
a Reef breaks the news and then announces his own thing.
Dude's ego's out of control, man.
He's out of hand. He's out of control. Yeah, he's changed.
Man, random aside, Jay Glazer almost choked to death on his own vomit.
Sorry, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I forget the exact circumstance, but there was a spot where
choked or had a hard time, or actually
it was partying with players, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was, but he got vomit into his lungs, like he inhaled it, and the acid like ate away at his lungs.
Oh my God.
He was like out of commission for months.
That sounds brutal.
Yeah,
acid ate away at your lungs.
Yeah,
not great.
Wow. Yeah, wow. That's
came
crazy.
out of nowhere.
Like going DAC. Yeah. All right. So
the Iloka signing, I'm assuming means that I've read somewhere that someone mentioned this, and I'm assuming that with him being signed, this might bring Smith now into like the linebacker role for third down passing plays. Would that be pretty
I just made
accurate?
that up.
No. I think on some third down plays, depending on what package you'll see, it'll go into dime personnel and take probably take a linebacker off the field and then line someone up at linebacker depth. But I don't think that they'll have them, which means that they'll do like those run fits and stuff like that. But I don't think they'll have like people kind of consistently playing like a Deion Buchanan, Mark Barron, or even a Cam Chancellor role. Just because you don't want them be swallowed up by blocks. I mean, I think Harrison and Anderson Dale were both under 210 pounds, and you don't want them like taking on a pulling guard or anything like that. So I don't think so, but you'll probably see dime packages in situations.
He would handle a running back coming out of the backfield better than, say, like Barr. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know. Harrison's weakness has been like man-to-man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Barr does a really good job of figuring out what screens are about to happen and blowing those screens up, and
especially last year, he took a huge step forward last year specifically.
And like Harrison Smith would be good at that, but like given like the years and years that Barr has been like keying in specifically on those screens, I just kind of like the fact that he can just kind of bring it with his like 250 pounds, 4'4", 540 type force. So it is possible that he could do all those things. I mean, it's Harrison Smith. But it might just be better to have him do what he's been doing.
Do you think Anthony Harris has looked a little average in run support again here this preseason with specifically some run angles? And I don't want to use the word effort, but just a little bit of lack of body control when
Royce
going
Freeman
after
touchdown against Denver.
Yeah.
The Royce Freeman touchdown was bad. I wouldn't say that's like indicative of...
There was another one that didn't equate to a touchdown against Jacksonville that just wasn't great. And here we are now in year 3 or 4 with him that you just hoped he would be able to clean up and polish the run angles and just the tackling in general a little bit better. And I just haven't seen it quite yet. Now, he was a big center fielder coming out of Virginia, tied for the nation lead with 9 interceptions, so we know he can do that. But in Zimmer's D, you got to be able to tackle. You got to be able to know what you're doing in run support. Just doesn't seem like it's all clicked quite yet. I think maybe that might have had something to do with them saying, hey, why not give Ioka a shot, because I think that he's going to be a huge upgrade in a lot of facets.
Really quickly, Everson Griffin, do you think he's got some type of staph infection?
I don't know. I mean, he's got some kind of infection. A staph infection makes the most sense because that's usually what you get.
Urban Meyer had a staph infection.
Woof. The hoodie's right there, man. That's so mean.
Urban Meyer is not being fired, by the way.
No, apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean, like based off of the fact that he was like involved in this meeting today.
They're announcing a press conference in 5 minutes with everybody involved.
Yeah. Well, okay, cool.
This will beat Harbaugh.
Yeah. Wow, Harbaugh finally better than Urban Meyer. But yeah, I mean, I don't think. I don't even know what were we originally talking about. Jesus,
Everson Griffin
this is
staph
Andy's
infection.
fault. It's always Andy's fault. Yeah, no, I mean that's like the most common problem when it's like you cut yourself on a table and you get an infection. It's usually like staphylococcus of some sort. Hopefully, it's not.
Also, do we really believe it was a cut on the table? I don't.
That's all we have.
I don't know.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm saying no.
Probably not.
What's your conspiracy theory? Like, how did he actually cut himself?
How?
Yeah.
I don't know. What razor? He was pretending to be a pro wrestler, and he, had a razor blade and, screwed around. Blah blah. I don't know.
Jeez.
But I don't think it was.
That seems a little outlandish or specific.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You have thoughts on this, man?
No, I don't. Actually, no. The reason why I say that because I've actually heard that before, years ago. I don't remember if you guys remember Kerry Von Erich at all, who was a pro wrestler. So there was a pay-per-view back in 1989. He wrestled Jerry Lawler. So before the match even started, he was supposed to bleed, say, the razor blade set up on his fingertip, right? And he was already, I guess, the rumor was, and it was no rumor, he was high as hell before the match. And apparently, for whatever reason, he did something where he had an itch underneath his arm, and he had the razor blade on. He sliced his underneath his arm wide open was a 4-inch gash, and it was bleeding like crazy. So they had to super glue it, right? And the first 15 seconds of the match, they had Lawler post his arm, so it looked like they can give a reason for him to be bleeding. Sure enough, he was. So, yeah, that came for whatever reason why. I'll never forget that. That's what came to my head. Like, I could see something just that stupid EG did, but hopefully nothing that dumb. But anywho, we'll leave it at that, guys. So we'll leave it on a very macabre. We'll leave this on a very macabre note. You gentlemen have a great night, okay?
Yeah, you too, man. Stay away from the razor blades.
You think? All right, later.
See you, man. That's good.
That got kind of wild.
We got another caller.
That's good.
I think meth is cheap. Hey, caller, who we got?
How's it going tonight, guys?
Hey.
Hey, you sound
Steve. How's it going?
Yeah, you sound depressed that you weren't first caller.
I know. I tried calling. Sorry.
I saw that number pop up a couple times.
Hey,
yeah,
go
Tom,
get
what the hell? You just keep
go get your
away.
guys, Steve.
I should have brought you. I should have picked it up probably about 2 minutes ago.
Definitely Tom's fault. I can't believe you did
Yeah,
that.
I've been calling for 5 minutes. All right.
Always blame Tom.
It's all right. It's cool.
For that.
Oh, man. I'm just...
Not much, guys. Hey, we got a Loca. I'm thrilled. I know it's a little 2 years old late, but hey, I'm still thrilled we got him. So, and for that minimum, that's a good pickup, I think.
Are you a guy that thinks he goes and takes Sendejo's job, or just adds great depth and maybe some of these 3 tight end packages everybody's talking about?
I think they might use him in a linebacker type role. I mean, or the 3 safeties out like when they killed us 5 years ago. In that Cincy game. Do you remember that? Those last game of the year before that December came to the coach. It was. I don't know. PA talked about. I think he could take over him if Sendejo gets hurt, but I don't know. I don't personally like Sendejo. Me, but that's just me. So I don't know. I think he'll make the team either way. So I don't know. You guys like the signing or no?
That's a great signing. It's
Love
really
it. Hate it. Especially the value of it too. I mean, I would have been more than content. I think everybody would have for
can't beat that.
$2-3 million, and to see he ends up signing the vet min is just outstanding. And what I thought was already just a loaded stack secondary, top to bottom, gets even stronger somehow. So,
what do you think was his top end offer? Probably like $2 million.
$2 million,
Yeah,
somewhere,
thinking around $2 million.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Maybe Oakland will offer him $2 million. I don't know. I mean,
I don't even think they have to.
Yeah, maybe that's a good one. Yeah.
So, well, I was going to say, my other guy like Hurst, do you guys think he gets cut from the team now, or do you think he's too special on the special teams to take the team, you think, too?
Trade him for offensive line depth.
Yeah. I'm still on that high, too, but I don't think it's going to happen. So,
I think
although PA did say today he thinks it'll happen still, trading for depth, some that today on the radio. So,
I think the odds and percentage of Hurst being cut now went up. I'm not going to say dramatically, but it certainly went up. It's just common sense, but I still think they end up finding a way to keep him. But, man, I don't know. So what are you going to do? Keep what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 safeties?
I think
With how many?
I think barring injury, he has a 0% chance to make the team.
Got it.
And he has no practice squad eligibility because he was rostered.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's true, too. So... Unfortunately, yeah. Well, I mean, if Newman gets cut, maybe, but I think I feel there's no way they cut Holton Hill, even though I know they love him. But he hasn't flashed much. I don't think they cut him to practice squad. I think they keep him on the squad too. So if I take Hill over Kurtz, I do that in a heartbeat.
Hey, Steve. So you're a big Notre Dame fan. I want to know.
Oh, the biggest. Yeah.
I want to know what your take was when the Vikings drafted Harrison Smith.
Oh, me and my dad were jumping with joy. Trust me, man. We were watching that whole draft together. We were hoping to take him. Then we took a flick. I took him. Trust me. I watched him all 4 years. I watched Rudolph all his careers, too. So
I forgot about him.
I mean, Rudy's Rudy, but I loved it. The pick when we did it, 6 years ago. So, oh yeah, it's my favorite pick in the last 10 years.
So you're jumping up in joy. I'm surprised you weren't tired out jumping up in joy from getting Matt Khalil at 4.
Oh yeah, trust me. Oh yeah, I was.
Set it and forget it, baby. Left side 10 years.
Okay, well that's why I had to call in because I'm venting my frustration here. I'm sorry, but Compton is trash. He should not be starting. I don't like the guy. Hasn't looked good at all.
Don't like the guy.
Andy, I listen to all your podcasts. With JR. And Doogie every week. And I just don't. I hate Compton. I'm sorry. It's cool he's a local guy, but we got
personal,
either got to be Collins, Isidore, to trade for somebody. I just don't see it. Honestly, I don't get what they. I was a big Easton fan too. That's what happened when he went down. I was a big fan of him. Too. We gotta get somebody else. Once you guys think, I don't know.
Do you think week one? Do you think week one Compton's gonna be the starter?
That's what everyone's been saying. Again, back to PA and Courtney Cronin today for the same thing. I hope not. I'm still rooting for my boy Collins. Started left guard. I think he's flashing up to maybe try him there.
What about Isidore Remmers?
I don't like Remmers either. I'd rather have him at right tackle. So that's just.
But we know he's going to be the guard. You don't think Isidore Remmers is an option as your two guards?
I like Isidore. I love Isidore at right guard. I'd rather have Remmers at right tackle too. I mean, I don't hate Brian O'Neill. If I had my pick, it would be Reese, Collins, Elfline, Isidore, Remmers. That would be my starting five week one. I know that's risky, but once you trade for somebody too, that would be my starting five. So that's just me. But
for sure.
I don't know. What do you guys think? We panic button yet, or are we getting to that point yet? Jumping ship here. If Elfline has come back, I'm hearing he's still want to come back now too. My other boy Elfline I heard he's coming along kind of slowly too. I'm hearing now today on the radio, which scares me now. So
who is that? Sorry, who?
Elfline.
Elfline. I heard he's coming along slow. Elfline. I heard he's not ready week one. I heard maybe no.
Yeah.
So
who said that?
PA I think said that today on the radio.
PA.
And I've been following Doogie sent a tweet earlier, didn't hit the panic button yet, but I think he's getting there. So, I don't know, man. Are you guys ready to hit the panic button yet, or are you guys not quite there yet, like I am?
No, because they're 0-0.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you know me, I'm a more realist. That's just how I am, So, hey, again, I don't hit my cues. I hit the pick. I wish we got Austin Corbett. Was my guy. Corbett was my guy there at 30. That was my pick. Was Corbett, So still my pick, but I can't go back now. That's still, would have been my pick though. So. I don't know. Would you guys? Let me ask you a question again. You threw it out there, Andy. Would you guys trade Trey Waynes and a pick for Forrest Lamp? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Being defensive back helps.
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it too. Mm-hmm. So that's just me. So
a guy who could play.
What do you think they're going to wait for cut down days? Is that what they're waiting for? Probably. Is that what you guys think it's going to happen? Probably next Saturday. They would do the cut down day. I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah, it's more sense to see what's out there since we're so close to cut downs.
You might as well wait. Yep, might as well wait. But
right,
I agree.
It's been good talking to you.
Yeah, something's going to happen. Something's probably going to happen. All right, Steve, good to talk to you, man.
Take care, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.
All right. First Twitter question is from the Big Herman. Am I the only one who thinks Jacob Judd looks like a pickup artist?
Yeah.
He looks like Josh Gad with like Viking hair. The chubby kid from Frozen. He was the snowman. Am I the only one with kids here? Well, yeah, I am. Yeah.
Not why you watch.
He was the snowman. Does he look like the snowman or like the voice actor who? Okay.
Beauty and the Beast. He was Gaston. Well, no, he was the Gaston's little buddy.
Okay, but again.
Yeah. Again, I'm the only one kid.
He's the voice actor, right? Like I have no idea.
No, like it was the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Somebody said Jacob Judd looks like Post Malone without the face.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was great. Good. Yeah.
I do see the Disaster Artist though. I can see it. That's pretty good too.
One of my favorite memes is from Post Malone's high school yearbook, and it says pre-Malone.
So good.
That's really good.
So good.
At Mike Dory 1, what are some things that are best left to nostalgia?
Adrian Peterson?
Or, like, what is way better in your memory than it actually was? Like Power Rangers.
Well, Power Rangers, all the music I like.
Yeah.
Sure, there's plenty of TV shows or movies that I could go back.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I was obsessed with that one. Dinosaurs.
There's a show
that one.
I bet that holds up. Actually,
I hope so.
There was a show I really liked for a hot second called Beetleborgs. I bet that holds up terribly.
Urban Meyer 3-game suspension.
Urban Meyer also better in nostalgia.
Yeah, you figure that's all. That's all the non-conference games.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Tebow time.
Ooh, Tebow.
Because you remember the highlights. You don't remember the lowlights.
I definitely remember the lowlights.
Of him going like 2 for 8 against Kansas City and winning.
Tim Tebow, by the
It
way,
was so infuriating.
could be a Mets player like next year.
He would be up there now if he wasn't
on
hurt.
board. What position is he playing?
Outfield, maybe?
But he's got the big stick.
Position?
I guess, he can swing
Hitting
it.
pretty good, huh?
Kind of like Andy.
Kind of.
Although Jeremy Lin, on the other hand, is better than you even remember.
Yeah, actually.
That was glorious.
Although he's kind of bounced around towards the end.
Yeah, he's been bad now, but whatever.
Right, but like that's the thing is that I think we don't remember Jeremy Lin as dope as it actually was.
Right.
True.
Because of how you shouldn't even say fallen off because everyone saw it coming, right?
Yeah.
But because of how like the hype died and ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is he had 2 hype trains because he actually was hyped in Harvard. And then like people are like, yeah, he's not an NBA player, bounced around for a little bit, and then
You and I have different definitions of hype.
I'm pretty convinced people knew who he was in Harvard, which most people don't know Harvard basketball players.
Well, yeah, he was like the best basketball player in the Ivy League. Like, great.
It's like cool.
But you don't know who that is now. That's hype.
I bet he's
I
taking
didn't-
a backdoor cut at Princeton.
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
I don't know that many people knew who he was. Like, I remember seeing a couple of
suppose.
blogs being like, hey, is this guy like going under the radar because he's not going to get drafted? The numbers say really good things about him, which I guess the blogs were pretty right. But like, I haven't seen a ton of like hype, or I hadn't.
Name the most obscure college basketball to NBA player that you can think of off the top of your head.
Jeremy Lin.
I was going to pick Michael Olowokandi.
Oh,
Candyman.
The pride of the Pacific.
The Candyman.
Coming out. Oh, no, he's a big
No.
man working with Pete Newell.
Wait, what about Dennis Rodman? You go to like Texas A&M Commerce or something like
Yeah.
that?
Like-
Texas A&M.
Oh, actually,
Kingsville?
no. Kevin Martin. I need a. It was like Western Carolina. Do you remember
Wow.
his shot?
That's not even a direction. It's like in the mountains. Yeah.
But Western Carolina offers scholarships, right? Like I think Dennis Rodman went to a school that didn't offer scholarships.
And he was putting up like 30
AIA.
points a game, as well as 20 boards.
Yeah,
LeBron
right.
James. Where did LeBron James go to college?
Oh my god.
Nah.
He's going to go to
LeBron James. LeBron James.
From at Stark Wolf A2, good call or bad call. I kept Rodgers. Oh, fantasy question. I kept Rodgers, Cook, and Diggs over Brady, Kelsey, McKinnon.
What?
Say that
Standards-
one more time.
Standard scoring.
'Kay.
He kept Rodgers, Dalvin, Diggs over Brady, Kelsey, McKinnon.
Oh.
That's how did you get all of those people?
No, that's you want to keep that.
That's an 8-team league.
Rodgers over Brady, yes. Cook over Kels and who?
Cook over Kelsey is the most difficult one, and then it's like Diggs
McKinnon,
over.
Diggs.
You always want running back.
Yeah.
So
obviously, I think
then
letting go of
Diggs
McKinnon's fine
I
in
think
this
so.
scenario.
I'm totally fine with that. That's great.
Unless that's
The Kelsey,
unless
the
that's
Kelsey
Jared
one is
Cook.
difficult for me. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Where's he even playing?
Is he playing?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. At Brandon Weineke, can Zimmer just decline any BS helmet penalty for the sake of the game? That'd be a baller move.
That'd be great.
Just out of protest is like,
That didn't happen.
yeah.
Come in a
I know what you're
preseason
talking
game.
about.
Come here.
Like, haha, Clinton Dix gets lowering the helmet, and Zimmer's like, no,
No, he didn't.
no. This is
Pick
my
up the
game.
flag right now.
This is my game.
I wish you could challenge those plays,
Wait.
those calls.
All
That'd be
right,
funny.
so say in this farcical hypothetical situation, Zimmer declines that penalty, and it ends up costing the Vikings the game against Green Bay. Is that a fireable offense?
Most definitely.
What's on the line?
Fireable
here?
offense? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Are they
in this
going to
situation,
fire
be
him? No.
week 2. Let's say it's
So we have no idea what impact
Yeah.
this has on the playoff
yeah.
race.
Let's say if it was a playoff game.
Do that.
But at least he made the playoff. Hard to fire a guy in the
Right.
playoffs.
True. I don't like this game.
You know what? I think it's probably not fireable, but it's like
Is it a 3-game suspension worthy?
Right.
right, yeah.
Yeah. First 3 games of 2019. He's out.
At Kyle Wilkin TDB, do you think Zimmer will allow aggressive Eagles-like play calling from Flip with going for it on 4th downs at the end of half situations or reining it in?
Doesn't really seem
Continue
like his
to rein it
style.
in.
Yeah. He's all about.
I don't
all
even
about
know
that D.
if that's DiFilippo style.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're right.
it's like-
It might
it's
be
very
more Doug Peterson to
Yeah.
let it rain.
Yeah, like Doug Peterson called plays in the playoff. Like he was on like a half pint of Rumplemans,
So.
and I respect that.
Goldschlager, dude.
Good morning.
Everything okay?
Remember the Goldschlager scene from Beer Fest? It's like I don't remember where we
Beer
are.
Fest.
But yes.
Yodelay. Who we got?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Max from Uptown. How we doing?
Max, what's going on? Have you seen Beer Fest?
Uptown down.
I have.
Tell me if this is a hot take. I think Beer Fest is better than Super Troopers.
Jesus. That's a hot take.
Ooh, this is embarrassing. I have not seen Super Troopers.
Wow, that's
Honestly,
weird.
so how about this? Super Troopers, that opening
Thanks for
scene
calling,
is
man. We'll
memorable.
talk to you
As a full product, Beer Fest.
Beer Fest movie, Super Troopers more quotable.
Or just like a one better scene that was hands down better than.
Anyways, Max, that's all we got. Thanks for calling. No, I'm just kidding. What's on your mind, man?
No, so I just think some congratulations are in order to a member of the Football Machine crew.
Woo! Yeah, Yinka.
Thank you, man.
Tom Schreier. You are way better than the last producer. Congratulations.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's new?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But he ain't wrong. And nobody did congratulate you.
Well, yes, but in all seriousness, no. Congrats, Arif. You're the fucking man, dude. I've been following you for like 6 years. I first started following you, and you were tweeting out play-by-play on updates from camp, and no one else was doing that. I thought that was so cool, so I started following you and
now
all your friends, and became a way bigger Vikings fan because of that. So,
I'm sorry.
And it's really cool. I was actually just quoting my dad, or quoting you, like telling my dad something about the Vikings. He's like, "Oh yeah, who said this?" I was like, "Oh, it's this guy I follow." He's like, "It's like, oh, is he a blogger?" Yeah, he's like, "Oh, so he's a blogger." Like kind of looking down on them, and now I'm like, "Hey." Right through the Athletic now, so I guess you have to think.
Still
it's
technically
valid.
a blog.
Nothing makes me happier than knowing that this will help you win arguments, man.
Especially with
that
your
speaks
parents.
to my soul.
Especially with your parents. That's awesome, dude. Yes. And then how big's the Arif poster above your bed, too?
The fat head?
The fat head.
The fat head?
We need a fat, just the face. A fat head face.
I actually, that'll be the next promotion. Subscribe and get a fat head of Reef.
Yes. Great idea.
All right. Anyways, so do any of you guys play Settlers of Catan?
Yeah.
I have played it before.
I'm not great at it.
Okay. It's pretty general. I mean, to get the... All right, so I feel like Zimmer, with his secondary, is like the guy in Settlers of Catan that just wants to build the longest road and hoards all the wood and the stone so no one else can build roads or expand it all, and he just only cares about that. But you also can't win the game like that. I feel like he needs to
it only gets you like 3 victory points, man. You need
I love this analogy.
Dude, I get you. I'm following.
So, I mean, we have so much depth in the secondary. If only there was like a magical way that we could transform some of that secondary depth into
trade some of the stone.
Line.
You're saying
Trey Wayne's left tackle.
Yes, trade Wayne's. I mean, if only the NFL actually ever traded, that'd be wonderful.
Especially like player to player, like Andy brought up.
Trade should be mandatory.
Best player to player trade that we've had in the last 10, 15 years was what? Champ Bailey for Clinton Portis.
Yeah.
I can't even think of another.
What about this?
player.
Going to
I can't
Andy's,
think of a player for player trade.
Going to Andy's point, what if you could sign a guy to a 6th year, but you had to trade him at the end of the year?
But then
you extend his rookie deal,
but he would just be a free agent.
Good point.
This doesn't make any sense.
Damn it! Yeah. I like mandatory trades.
I like it too. Something to get them going, or they just all the GMs get together and make New Year's resolutions to trade more.
Except teams would just Yankee swap back and forth with each other.
Cut down time. There's so many trades that would like make sense if someone just like, hey, I'll give you, our best 50 players not making the 53, or even some guy who's just barely making it over, some other guy, like offer him up and say, hey, you're probably I think you might be cutting this guy, and what's going on with that? But I feel like there's also a lot of reasons they probably don't do that. So, like mainly because I feel like they try to get sneaky with their cuts and are always trying to sneak guys onto the practice squad and hang on to people that way.
Yeah, so you can't just be like, yeah, I'll give you, the best guy that's not going to make the roster, because then you're like telling them who that guy is, and then
exactly.
Yeah, if the trade doesn't go through for whatever reason, you're boned.
So, anyways, they should trade more.
There you go. Max, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, man, that means a lot.
Thanks.
Man. Thanks.
Have a good one.
See you, Max.
Peace, guys.
Who do you think is going to have the best practice squad this year?
What kind of question is that?
Could we please have like
no idea how to answer
please
this
have
question.
this play out? Like at the end of the season, you have like a 3-week season.
Should we do a fantasy league?
Yeah.
Fantasy practice squad league.
How'd your team do?
So how do like so we get points for weeks on the active roster?
Yeah. Oh, there
points
you go.
For points per snaps.
It's going to get real
for active game days.
Yeah.
And then points for starts. Right.
Boom.
Like, that's how you got it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Now we all got to pick a team.
Dang it.
And then Tom has to do all the accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's me. I got that.
What's going on?
Oh hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Fantasy practice rosters.
Who we got?
Oh, what is it?
Fantasy practice squads. Don't worry about it. What's on your mind?
Fantasy practice squad. Adrian Peterson, of course.
Done deal.
Yeah, of course.
Because he will end up on the practice squad. Faux show.
Oh, yeah.
Who has more yards this season, Mike Boone or Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson.
Ooh.
Gotta believe
I
it.
don't know.
Adrian Peterson's playing until he's 40.
Do you think
Did you
Adrian
miss
Peterson
that?
still? How many yards do you think Adrian Peterson does get this year?
296 yards.
Woohoo!
One
Nice.
game. One game.
Nice.
One game.
Nice.
Over 16 games. He used to do that in one game.
Hey, man, times is bad.
So that'll move Peterson up to like what 8th, 9th all time rushing. That's not bad.
Yeah. I know he's, I mean, 3 carries away from bumping up from, 11 to 10 right now? I don't know the discrepancy
like 4
or difference.
yards away. So, yeah,
it's
3
not-
carries.
Yeah, correct.
Hey, I think we've
but I
had
don't
this
know.
discussion before, but you need to change your smoke detector battery.
It's working. I'm getting onto it. Isn't it crazy that Frank Gore is like number 4 or 5 in rushing yards?
It's weird.
It's
Frank Gore
wild,
hasn't
dude.
made an All-Pro team like ever, right?
It's wild.
How old is he? Do we know?
Old.
32? 33?
Really? Oh, I thought he was older.
Yeah, he was on one of Miami's good teams. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, 01.
while back.
Yeah.
While back.
Sorry, 35. I was way off.
Oh, this dude's house is burning down.
man, you gonna be
I'm
okay?
still here, man. I'm still here. We still here, man. The house is not burning down.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I keep on hearing it in the background.
The house was burning down when the Eagles whooped our ass last year. That's enough.
He's like, I'm done replacing the
It's
batteries.
still recovering.
We're going down with the house.
Oh,
real.
man.
Hey, if Adrian makes Washington's roster, will you buy an Adrian jersey?
No, because I already got one, but no.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
but-
die as
but
a
also-
darker
God,
purple.
no.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Hey, appreciate you calling in, my man.
No problem.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Actually, that's a good comparison. Like, Boone's probably a bad one, but who will have more rushing yards this year, Adrian or Frank Gore is a bad one because he's actually going to get work in Miami because they're stupid.
Right.
Yeah, we'll think of something later. Some more to work questions from Library Ben. With D-Flip's offense using back split out more, could they possibly keep Rock and Boone by carrying one less fullback, wide receiver, tight end?
Yeah, I've
last
even
fullback. They're
seen-
going to keep Ham though, right?
I've seen
Hams.
some people talk about maybe they don't keep a fullback.
I think keeping just 3 tight ends is somewhat realistic when you look at who's on the roster right
yeah.
now. So that helps and opens up a spot. Murray, Cook, Thomas, Boone still lets you keep
I think it's
Ham.
possible. I mean, we saw how many running backs they have in Philly. Like they Clement
4.
and Ajayi. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
4.
And also they have Pumphrey and Sproles on IR. It's like no big deal. Whatever.
Did they have a fullback?
Wow, they had Sproles in IR and bad
Yeah.
Sproles on the roster.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't know if they did.
No, they didn't.
I don't think they did.
They did not.
Yeah.
But I think he had a fullback in Cleveland. But that was the year that like all the running backs got injured, so they
Yeah.
moved their fullback to running back, and like, guess we don't have a fullback now.
But whatever, we're just playing out the string.
Right.
Any chances they only keep 4 wide receivers?
Boy, that's
No.
just
They go Baltimore
so
Ravens on the bit.
little.
No.
No, I can't see it.
No.
I just can't see it. Can't see it. Again, 3 tight ends, maybe. I wouldn't be shocked at that.
What about 2 tight ends and Brian O'Neill? It's like, whatevs.
Sure.
Who cares?
Lock it up.
At MX Missiles, who wins more games, the Patriots or the rest of the AFC East combined?
That's a good question.
At least locked in for 11, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Always. I wonder what their over-under is. I
think it's 11.5.
Is it?
Oofta.
Man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Tough to bet against that. Well, Jets, Dolphins, Bills.
I think the Jets got something. So I'll say the rest of the AFC. That's a really good question.
I mean, they're all going to beat up on each other a little bit.
It's either right, yeah. So it's guaranteed 6, right?
Right. Right.
So if Darnold can beat out Teddy, that means they've got a quarterback who's better than a Pro Bowl quarterback. So that's probably, that's probably a couple of extra wins that they get right there. And then Miami is always good for like 1 or 2 additional wins. So yeah, I think probably the rest of the AFC East. The fact that this question exists is very cool and sad. It's super awesome and sad.
But at the same time, too, you could probably ask this question the last 8 years.
Are you guys believers?
Figure out if my computer's out of battery, but we should figure out if that's happened.
And we do have you don't have your cord?
No.
Okay.
What?
I'm just saying we got power in the room.
Athletic, dude. I don't care about this.
There are outlets in this. No way.
In this building, there could be non-functioning outlets. Do you?
There are not.
Do you guys believe that if Drew Brees goes to the Dolphins, it's a Saban-Belichick rivalry for years to come?
No.
You guys suck.
Where did this even come from?
Origins podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. They're doing Nick Saban right now.
Bloggers.
Yeah, James Andrew Miller, noted blogger.
I mean, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be this huge Saban Belichick thing. But I don't think Saban would have got rushed out of there like he did because Brees certainly would have had them. I can't remember the roster that he would have been put around, but Brees certainly would have made them much more competitive. And I don't think. Well, was that the Ronnie Brown? Is that the Ronnie Brown era?
No, Ronnie Brown was like 10 years later, man.
What?
Yeah, that was like
Ronnie Brown was Wildcat.
Is Brees like Manning, where if you took him off that team, they just
not anymore. A couple years ago, yeah.
All right.
But that team's like real good now, defensively and offensively.
True. Yeah, just
should have beaten the Vikings.
Right? Nah, we all knew the miracle was coming.
Oh yeah, we all had faith.
So play they run.
Or something like that. So looking up the 05-06 Dolphins. 06 Dolphins. Of course,
Ricky, right?
Yeah. Actually, no. Sorry.
Oh.
So Ronnie, Sammy Morris, Chris Chambers.
Chambers.
So it was Ronnie Brown.
Yeah. Marty Booker.
Okay.
Oh, Wes Welker. Hello. Actually,
Gus
that would have changed
Frerotte.
things. Yeah.
Oh, I love Gus Frerotte.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Ronnie Brown.
No, the 06 quarterbacks. Joey Harrington, Cleo Lemon, and Dante Culpepper.
Yes.
Randy McMichael.
Yes, Cleo Lemon.
Cleo Lemon.
Some of my favorite backups were Cleo Lemon, Chad May, and Ray Lucas.
Ray Lucas.
Ray Cocaine Lucas.
Joe Berger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vernon Carey drafted one spot before that would have been Erasmus James.
That would have been a Spielman roster. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You guys don't have faith.
Yeah, Zach Thomas, Shannon Crowder, Vonnie Holiday, Jason Taylor, Jeremiah Bell.
Yep. Yeah. To Bucky Jones.
The corpse of Kevin Carter. This is a good team. How would they not win the Super Bowl?
Saban.
Travis Minor.
Yeah.
Sammy Morris, Travis Minor, Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown. Wow.
At Fairview Farms, can Arif get me Jay Glazer's autograph?
Yeah, probably not.
You guys have the same haircut, though.
Dude, Marty Booker, David Boston, Chris Chambers, and Wes Welker? Dang.
Yeah.
That's not the same Wes Welker.
No,
man.
God, no. Well, it is.
Younger,
it is the same
Wes
person.
Welker.
Younger
Yes.
Spryer. Better Wes Welker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, less mileage on the tires.
Fewer concussions.
Wow.
It's insane that he played for the Rams.
Wait, Wes Welker?
Yeah.
Huh, weird.
His last year. He was like, well, whatever.
Oh, yeah, he's doing the Danny
forget about
Amendola
that.
reverse thing.
Yeah. Hey, caller, who we got?
Mike,
What's going on, man?
I was curious about your thoughts on Curse.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I think he's done, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was curious what you guys thought.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been playing and hasn't even been getting any practice reps. And he's not like he's injured, so it's like I think it was a foregone conclusion even before Aloka.
You thought it was before Aloka? Yeah. What, they're going to keep Tocho?
Or Trey Matthews. Come on, baby.
And I love it, the Tocho.
Yeah, that's good. I thought there was actually a pretty decent chance that Chris's roster spot was up for grabs. I just didn't know if anyone was taking it. Now, obviously someone's taking it. So I don't think they'll keep 5 safeties. They kept 5 safeties once, and then they immediately cut, I think, that guy. So they really just keep 4 safeties a lot. And so I don't see that changing, especially with the roster pressure that they have at the cornerback position.
Yeah, just not enough room. I mean, pretty easy now at this point now to call him a roster casualty at this point. There's just it's too much depth, especially in the secondary, just as a whole, top to bottom. I just don't see it. I just don't.
If you had to bet on J-Ron Curse playing 16 more games in his NFL career, but over under.
Playing? Playing. Like
just special teams, another
16
team.
16 more games?
Yeah.
I think I'd say over. Not confident about it.
All doesn't do it.
Not
all
confident about it.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, appreciate you calling in.
All right, later. Bye.
See ya.
This one's from Cork to Bats. For funsies, what fringe D-line might turn to Zimmer and say, you know what, I'll move to O-line if it helps?
For fun.
I love this question.
David Perry.
There's no way.
A Fetty, Weatherly, Bauer,
Jalen Holmes has the length, right?
Win. Yeah. We could do that.
Oh, all right, so
B-Rob.
hypothetical. Linval
What is happening?
goes automatic. Was like, all right, I'm switching to guard. Screw this defense stuff. I'm gonna be a road grader. I give him a year, full off season, full training camp, with proper O-line coaching. Where does he rank next year?
I like how you're like, you
guard.
give him a year to figure it out.
So this helps right now.
A full year training in Russia, like Rocky IV,
Yep.
in like that old barnyard and shoveling snow and
in
stuff.
the 4 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's on fire. No, it's Rocky III. Anyways, so give him a full year. Is he a top 64 guard by the start of next season?
Barely, but maybe. But barely.
Hell yeah, top 10. Oh, get your guy.
Well, I mean, Zach Martin's hurt, so I mean,
Right.
All right.
But the key is he gets the year.
Yeah.
This guy, you don't understand.
Has to train in Russia.
The year.
He's training in Russia. Okay, got it.
Anthony Krepp, if you could add only one player who is currently retired from any era to the current Vikings roster, who would it be and why?
Any player that's retired ever?
Randall McDaniel?
Can have Vikings?
You don't take hypothetical guards in the hypothetical first round of
Poison pill.
Wait, is it just Vikings?
No, just says any player, I guess.
Wait, hold on. So I get to pick any player.
Can I just go get the best quarterback ever?
No, hold on. But you get them at their current age, right?
No.
Well, this is our hypothetical. So, in their prime, any player you want.
Oh, friggin' Bruce Matthews, man.
Different era, though. I mean, no. Bruce Matthews only like 280 pounds.
Fine, Larry Allen.
Only.
Jeez.
Yeah, give me Larry. Ogden.
I picked Bruce Matthews because he can play every position.
I don't know. I would take Lawrence Taylor to
I was
take
thinking
Gideon's
Taylor.
spot.
I was thinking Lawrence Taylor too. That came to mind.
Gideon's spot.
Oh my god.
Dion, can you play nickel?
Dion.
I mean,
okay. Well, I mean, you've got Cousins on the
prime. Yeah,
you got Cousins on the roster, but I mean, like, would you say no to prime Peyton Manning or something like that?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, you got to go quarterback then.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think Luke's initial instinct was right. I was thinking about filling a roster hole. Idiot me.
Go quarterback.
Pick the friggin' quarterback.
All right, no, let's spice this up a little bit.
But what quarterback?
You could have.
I'd pick Manning.
You could
Johnny
take
Unitas.
Cousins or 09 Favre.
What? Ooh.
Wait, why wouldn't I take 09 Favre?
Of course, I'm taking Favre.
I don't know.
No disrespect.
It's not like he's gonna repeat every single throw for throw. that doesn't make any sense. You just pick a Super Bowl winning
Baker
quarterback.
Mayfield.
He did, and then I just run it on the field in that last throw.
He's not going to throw that bobbling interception off of Chester Taylor in Pittsburgh. It's like that's the first loss of the season. Like that was the low point of the year.
Right, yeah, it was the worst thing that happened.
Well, on the road, on grass, you guys.
At Chase Hansen 77 with Devontae Parker essentially being pushed out of Miami. What do you think it would take to get him in a trade with wide receiver depth not being ideal?
Well, if he's being pushed out, probably not much.
I don't know that you would want him. I don't know. Vikings fans had this weird thing about. I didn't know that people were still on Devontae Parker.
No,
I'm not even on Devontae Parker anymore.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's how you know.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
Well, ever since your heart got broken by Josh Doxson.
God,
I'm sorry. I didn't.
I'm fine.
That's good. I didn't know.
I'm fine, dude. You don't know about.
It sounded like
crush.
a couple different things.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I got a trifecta going on over here, boys. All right. Probably not much, though. I don't know. Can I say a fifth or sixth?
Did you trade Weatherly?
Yeah. Heartbeat. We got no receiver depth. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got some interesting guys going on in the mix here. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people, like the Winicky story, Zylstra, Chad Beebe, but give me, if you are asking me, will I trade Weatherly, who I was a big fan of when we drafted him, but the guy's probably going to get cut for Parker? Yes.
I decree right now that we have to.
Would you do it, Eric Wilson?
No,
of course
absolutely not.
Of course not. So, realistically, what would I mean? Like a fifth, a sixth?
J-Ron.
So just guys that we would cut.
J-Ron.
Is there anybody, a guy that would be on the 53? Give me a guy that's going to make the 53.
Mike Boone.
I'd do that.
Yeah. I mean, if the thing you're worried about is like receiver depth, then why wouldn't you just pick the receiver that you think is going to be the sixth receiver?
I'd rather have Parker than
Zylstra.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Parker had
even Caleb. I know. I just want to see it with my own eyes.
I forgot about Caleb Jones.
Caleb Jones.
He's just sort of in the background, like Kentrell Brothers. Like, I think Zimmer's linebacker depth swipe was pretty squarely on Kentrell Brothers.
Yeah.
What can you do? From the real Gabby, who are some linebackers you have an eye on as potential cuts from other teams that you think would help our depth? Navarro Bowman.
Keekly. Come on, dude. And a surprise move, the Panthers cut Luke Kuechly.
Actually, low key, if you look around the league, like some linebacker starters, not great.
Oh, linebackers, the position, I mean, everybody focuses on D-line for obvious reasons, and then in a passing league, trying to stock up on that third cornerback or a really good safety. I feel like linebackers gotten the value of the linebacker position, just in general as a whole, it's got a little devalued over the last few years.
Oh, it definitely has.
In what you're saying, it makes sense then.
So it's like how running backs have been developed.
Kind of,
correlated.
So in my most recent piece for The Athletic, I subscribe athletic.com/Vikings expansion.
Tom's right here.
30% off Vikings expansion. Offer expires August 27th. So on my most recent
promo
article, code? Well, you don't need one. You just go to theathletic.com/Vikings expansion, and it's 30% off until August 27th.
/.
But in the most recent article, I wrote that if the Vikings were to offer Anthony Barr Kendrick's money, so if it was just even, they would have the most cap money given to the starting two linebackers. And then also, I think the third most cap money to all linebackers, because I think the Panthers have a lot tied up in Thomas Davis. And then they would also have the second most draft capital assigned to linebackers, too. Again, the Panthers.
Top 10 pick, second round pick, Kendricks, and then a fourth round pick, Giddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Panthers got Kuechly, obviously, top 10 pick.
And then Thomas Davis.
And then Shaq.
Yeah.
First round pick.
And so those are the only two teams that seem to consistently value linebackers more than the rest of the league. Like, other teams just do not value linebackers that much. And we saw Pro Football Focus's, their wins above replacement study. They found that linebackers are just the least important defensive player. And so, it's kind of reflective of that. I mean, there's only, I think, 2 or 3 linebackers that make over $11 million. There's 14 cornerbacks that make over $11 million. There's like 15 edge rushers that make over $11 million. So it's a devalued position
for sure.
That's all I have to say.
And that's all I got to say about that.
At Skull Skis, Storm Norton, thoughts?
He's
not great, Bob. Bad.
Yeah.
Great name.
Great hair.
Fantastic name, great
He's
hair.
definitely up there in the great name, no game, like with Nico Thorpe.
And what, Buster Rhymes?
Steel Hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The original Buster Rhymes, by the way. Busta named himself after Buster. Also Styles G. White.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Solid.
Speaking of defensive ends.
Ed Zen Cupid, was this the most fun training camp that everyone has attended?
Ooh.
No. I mean,
It was...
I loved Mankato. It's
Me too.
inconvenient. It's out of the way. It's stupid.
But it's Vikings training
But
camp.
I loved Mankato. The most fun had to be the one where we all went to Ribfest.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun,
dope as
dude.
hell.
Just the whole training camp. Not just that night. Just the whole training camp.
Yeah.
in general
Shawn
was
Michaels,
great.
talk dirty to me.
That was great.
At Old Dusty Trail, when you guys watch games live, do you try to pick one player to watch on a play, or is it more of an area of the field ball watch? Question mark.
It's usually area of the field for me. That way, you can try to soak up 3-4 guys, and then you see who flashes out of that pile, for good or bad. If you see Harrison Smith creeping up to the line, that's something like that is easy to kind of your eyes attract to a little bit. But for me, just a general area, and it's usually in the trenches. It's usually O-line, D-line.
Yeah, it changes for me. It's also like when it becomes like your job to watch the Vikings, it's also because you're watching closer, it is a little bit easier to over time just like watch more things at once. But yeah, I think like Luke, it's whatever catches your eye or a thing that you've been thinking about, right? So Harrison Smith creeps up to the line, or they're in the double A gap look, and you're trying to see. You'll just naturally try to look for how many rushers they
down
have.
in distance plays a factor too.
Yeah. So if it's third down, you might pay more attention to Jarius Wright last year, for example. But yeah, sometimes you're ball watching. Sometimes you're taking a look at the offensive line, defensive line. Sometimes you're like, oh hey, I hear. Richard Sherman might shadow some people today, right? So I'm actually going to watch who he's lined up against. When Xavier Rhodes was shadowing Calvin Johnson,
I do that
kept
a lot
watching
too.
that.
Yeah. I like to see which cornerbacks are lined up where. Are they following a guy, or are they staying, in the slot or on the boundary? That's always intriguing too. You can soak up a lot in that 9 seconds before the snap too. I mean, there's a lot to absorb. Dalvin Cook, is he going in motion, and is there a linebacker covering him?
Right, yeah.
Do they let a cornerback kind of end up grabbing him right at the end? Which makes it fun too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I've gotten more into watching the line just by default.
I've gotten better at watching football, so
the foosball, because before I was like, well, are they going to throw it to Carter, or are they going to throw it to Moss?
Who's this Kleinsasser fella?
Yeah. I don't know, just like I like watching line, especially if there's in the preseason where Avante Collins is in, or Brian O'Neill, or seeing who's getting penetration on the line. But then you just watch it back on Game Pass, and then you already know what happens. And especially when
already knowing what happens on Game Pass is so big.
It's fun to hone in on elite defensive linemen or pass rushers too, like a Khalil Mack or an Aaron Donald. Sounds boring to watch a defensive tackle,
Fletcher
but
Cox was phenomenal.
Cox
I mean, like, it
nuts.
Sucked.
Brandon Graham destroyed us 2 years ago. That was insane. To watch those guys work in the trenches, though, sometimes is unbelievable.
Yeah.
At Sweet Skull, how does the signing of Aloka affect our special teams year for backup, assuming we keep Sendejo?
That's actually a really good question, because without Curse, you want to have somebody. Not that I don't think Curse was as good at special teams as I think he ended up getting a reputation for.
I agree.
But it's also something that the Vikings have been struggling with all preseason. They've already said it's actually an actual concern, and so I think it means that without Curse, they're going to pay particular attention to which linebackers have been really good in special teams. So I think that gives Antoine Williams.
Rashard Kliak.
Yeah, that gives Antoine Williams a head up. I think it does give Rashard Kliat a heads up. I think it makes Mike Needham difficult to keep, because I think he's been struggling. Brett Taylor's been struggling. And it may also mean that, and I think Kearse largely played the same on special teams, the same roles that a lot of linebackers did, but sometimes he would gun in punt coverage, and so maybe you're looking for a gunner too. That means maybe you don't keep Kendall Wright in order to keep a receiver like Brandon Zylstra, who has been playing in punt gunning. So yeah, I think it does actually have an impact as we look forward in special teams, because Aloka's probably not going to play special teams.
Yeah, even though Kearse is pretty meh, still has 304 special team snaps he got to replace.
Yeah,
and Anthony Harris can't do both of them because he's also on those units.
Right. A lot more pressure, it seems like, on Anthony Harris, though, now, too. On special teams.
You're the man of the house now, Anthony. 2 more, and then we'll get out of here. At Kurt Milwaukee, between you 4, who takes a 40-yard dash?
I ran track in high school.
Now,
Reef gets about
not fast.
I'm not supposed to say I would win.
Like one of you guys are explosive.
I'm not supposed to say.
I feel like you're probably. I mean, you're in the gym the last 18 months. I feel like you got
Andy
be
would destroy us in the 10-yard sprint.
Yeah, you're explosive.
No
right out the
question
gate.
about that.
Also, I sprinted back in the day too. Although I feel like Yinka could be sneaky fast.
Oh,
actually, no. Take that back. Kunle definitely sucked up all the athleticism.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's only a limited amount of athleticism.
Realistically, money would be Vegas would have Yinka as the favorite.
Probably. I'm just saying. If it was today, probably not.
Yeah.
If I had a week and a half.
Ooh, 10 days.
Yeah, if I had 10 days.
10 days.
A week
like
and a half
ring.
of the Rocky montage. It's like Linval switching the guard. He's got a year.
It's like the ring.
He's got a year.
It's like the ring. Arif calls us every day. 7 days. Click. Who's that?
I ran faster than the captains on the track team.
What?
200 in high school.
Dang, dude.
That's all I'm saying.
They invited me to the Drake relays. It's not a big deal.
No, it's no big deal. Obviously, I would need to make sure I'm not falling over.
True.
That's a big part of this.
All right, we're making this the 110 hurdles.
Okay,
the hurdles
never mind.
in there.
That's probably Yinka then.
Lastly, David Putney. If the entire starting 11 on defense went down with injury, I don't like injury. How about abducted by aliens? Where would the defense be ranked by season's end? So all the backups. But it is a Zimmer defense.
Yeah.
So we lose.
They would be better on defense
Still need
than
talent.
the Bills are on offense.
So
that's the thing that gets
Weatherly, Bauer, Jaleel, Odenigbo.
No. You get Robeson instead of Weatherly.
All right.
Yeah.
Holmes in the mix.
Wilson.
Brothers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Devontae Downs.
Oh,
secondary solid.
Hughes.
You get Mack, Hughes, Newman as your nickel, Harris.
The secondary is good.
Kearse.
The
Sherrills is our
the
return
front
man.
four can rush the passer.
Right. But don't have that nose tackle now like Limbo, though.
Actually, F it. It's better.
Jalil's not bad.
Trade everyone.
Yeah, it's better.
I say we're not dead last. We're in that 24 to 28 range.
Might even be closer
22?
to 20th. Yeah.
Well, who was dead last in DVOA defense last year?
I don't know. You've got the computer.
That's a good link question. I'm looking up right now. So number 32 would be Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they'd be better than Tampa Bay was.
Ooh.
Like,
Tampa was that bad.
Not doing anything.
God, Tampa's trash.
They were bad.
Ooh.
I like their draft, Tampa. I mean, they got guys like MJ Stewart and Carlton Davis, who I really like. But is Vita Vea going to do anything?
Right.
I think he got hurt already.
Would in this scenario, the Vikings backups, would they be better than the Dolphins defense?
Who's on the Dolphins defense?
See, there it is.
I mean, of course I know who the Vikings backups are.
Dolphins realistically have guys like Cameron Wake, Jordan Phillips, Robert Quinn, Kiko, Raekwon McMillan, Stephon Anthony.
Stephon Anthony.
I mean,
there's
besides Minkah Fitzpatrick and Tankersley, most people haven't even heard of any of their starting secondary guys. T.J. McDonald, Rashad Jones, Bobby McCain, Xavier Howard.
I would actually take Miami's defense in this case, assuming Kiko is having one of his good years.
They got Minkah now, too.
But, I mean, I love both of those safeties.
Arif, why do you hate the Vikings?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You like Rashad Jones, T.J. McDonald?
Rashad Jones is the most underrated safety in the league.
Dang.
He's so good.
Hot takey.
He is so good. And T.J. McDonald is really good. He's just coming off a bad year. I think right with was he with Philly? Not even a bad year.
No, what's it? Philly? It was the Rams, wasn't it?
Well, he was initially with the Rams, and then he hit free agency, and I thought he went to Philly for 1 year, maybe. I don't know. He was really friggin' good with the Rams.
27, too. Wow.
Yeah.
USC. Trojans.
So actually, I love those safeties. Obviously, the name Cameron Wake is probably more important than the play.
Robert Quinn, though, now.
That's a little less important to me, given that he hasn't produced in 4 years.
So random. The Dolphins have like a 9th string DN named Claudine Matthew. No relation to Honey Badger. That's what intrigued me. But he went to Notre Dame College.
Wow.
Not Notre Dame. Notre Dame College. That's like dollar store Golden Domer.
That's Brown College, man.
Brown College.
All right. Oh, it's like the Northwestern that's in the cities.
What? Have you guys ever seen the movie Accepted, where they create the college? What was their college called, though? It was like Brown Institute of Technology or something like that.
Yeah, who's in that movie? Nah, it doesn't matter.
It's the guy from the Mac commercials. He's in Jeepers Creepers. Justin Long.
It's weird that they tried to make Justin Long a thing for a while.
Yeah, they were pushing that for a while.
Was he dating Drew Barrymore? Nah,
really?
This is what you get from the bottom of hour 2. What are you gents working on this week? Where are you cranking out?
Wow.
I just saw the Jaguars.
I'm waiting for this third preseason game. Then I'm going to go back, take all 3 games, grind some film up for us, do a couple videos. Going to continue a few Draft Rat podcasts as well.
I'm doing positional previews for each position.
Tomas, what's going on at zonecoverage.com?
Still some Twins coverage. We'll be looking at the guys they're bringing up as part of the roster expansion in September.
Can you tank in baseball?
You can, but it's not very effective. Teams are doing that this year, though.
Yeah, because the draft doesn't.
What teams are doing
matter?
it? Nationals just traded.
The
Nationals are out of it.
No, yeah, they're out of it. But I'm saying to start the year, like teams like the Orioles and
got it.
I don't know,
White Sox, Royals.
Yeah, White Sox have a good team coming.
Really,
a lot of prospects.
Really,
yeah.
Also, subscribe and become someone.
Any merch people can buy?
Yeah, you can buy merchandise on our site. We got Luke's wearing that sweet snapback. You get the Reef Go Nocturnal shirt.
Eventually
go get your guys.
Eventually you get the fat hat.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Just your face.
It should just
hat
be
is
fat
really
head.
good. I like
it.
I love the hat, dude.
Yeah.
No, like they do on game day, they print out like giant heads and put them on sticks and stuff. We should just do a run, and people bring them to the Vikings games, and the Reef can take pictures of them from the press box.
Oh my god!
They'd all be in the 300 section because that's our demo.
That is our demo.
Listen to Hour 1. Talked about Viking stuff and things, and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, iRadio, and zonecoverage.com/machine. But for Luke and Reef and Tom, I'm Andy saying, ain't no excited about this Hour 1.